How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Lucid, which was down around 4.5% on the Friday. It is continuing to experience a pullback. You guys should not be shocked if you've been watching this channel. I told you guys about the CPI numbers and conditions of the market, but now we have this week coming and I want to make sure you're prepared. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for Lucid. Let's see how it performed on Friday. So it ended up closing at $18.02, being down 4.56%. On the low, it tested $18, and then on the high, testing $19.14. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 14.395 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 16.721 million shares. So we had below average volume on the day, and we also seen a pullback in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it's at 45.69. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 200-day, we're also below the 50-day, and we're below the 21-day EMA. And it's clear to see that Lucid is in a bear market, trading below all of our major moving averages. So the first thing I want to point out, yes, we are on a continuous downtrend. As you can see, we have been forming lower highs and as well as lower lows. And I was saying that Lucid will really start looking weak if it falls below 1750 and starts testing right here at $17. And from what it's looking like, it will see that level for this coming week. Keep in mind what I said in my previous video, if it could hold $18, it does show some strength. So it was able to hold support right at 18 bucks, and it also saw a high at 19.14. So if you want to see a reversal and you want to see some strength out of this play, it needs to go back to the 21-day EMA, which is at $18.81. You want to close above this level. And if you have some consolidation, you want to look for that move above the 50-day moving average, and we know that $20 is a psychological area for this play as well. But for the most part, as far as for the short term, it looks like we're going to have some more downside pressure and could see a test to $17 for the coming week. So overall, let's see what the market gives us. Let's move on to the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Lucid. Scrolling down on the page, green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings for June 10th, we don't have any new or closed positions, but we have changes here from JW Cole Advisors Inc. They have 89,160 shares and they reduced their position by just under 29%. Now, when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 58.15%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 2.79 million shares. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 100,000, updated 20 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 11.98%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 9th, it was at 64.10, and then for the close of the 10th, being at 58.15. So that is a significant decrease right there. And then taking a look at the short interest percentage of the float being at 22.55%, Lucid does continue to have short squeeze potential. Now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Lucid. So we see on the inflow, it is at 36.75 million, and then on the outflow, it's at 59.26 million. So we had an outflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large it was 0, on the medium it was 19.37 million, and then on the small it was 17.38 million. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large it was 2.71 million, on the medium it was 36.78 million, and then on the small it was 19.77 million. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for June the 10th we had that outflow of negative 2.71 million. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tends to represent the retail side, you can see that we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. And then for the large, which represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 0.86%. So this is continuing to go down for Lucid, and this is exactly what you want to see. But one thing that is clear though, due to the market conditions that we are seeing some fear on the retail side due to some selling. And we're seeing this across the board because we also see it for the large scale orders as well. Now let's move on to the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details. So for my final thoughts for Lucid, when it comes to the price action, so the 21-day EMA is at $18.81. We saw the high of the day at $19.14, and the low of the day was at $18, and we closed at $18.02. So what does all of this mean? First and foremost, we have price action above the 21-day EMA. We got to $19.14, which was good, but of course we lost those gains and tested $18. And if you remember what I've said in my previous videos, the moment Lucid starts coming down to around $17.50, it could start looking very bearish. So I wouldn't be shocked if we see Lucid trading at $17 for this week. And if it breaks through $17, that's where you want to see what it will do when it starts trading around $16.50. But for the most part, as long as we have volatility in these markets and we have selling pressure, I wouldn't be shocked if we have some more downside pressure. We also see a continuation of lower highs and as well as lower lows. So you want to be aware of this, and there are opportunities to take advantage if you're looking at it from the downside. I know many of you have sent me messages saying, well, you know what, Dre, I've been making money on these puts, and congratulations to you. If you're looking for a reversal in the play, you want to see some strength, of course it needs to be trading and closing above the 21-day EMA. So you want to see it get back to at least $19. And then upon doing that, it needs to get to that psychological area at $20. But one thing that is very consistent for this play, it has constant rejections at the 50-day moving average. And this is what is concerning and what is contributing to the fact that we're seeing a lot more pressure on the play. But again, we could say that for the entire market as a whole. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership, we do see a little bit of activity, but we just see the institution that reduced their positions. No surprises. And then when we took a look at the short interest information, Lucid does continue to have short squeeze potential. But in order to even force a short squeeze, you need to have that buying volume coming into the play. And when we were taking a look at the order flow distribution, we were clearly not seeing that. And again, it is not surprising due to the fact of the conditions we have inside of the markets. So from what I'm seeing, unless we have a strong turnaround inside of the tech sector or we have a big catalyst that comes out, this stock is going to continue to deal with the pressure of sellers and so forth. And I could also see a further impact coming in regards to the Fed meeting we have this week, and we also have the quad witching on the Friday as well. Again, there's a lot to look forward to. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see how the stock performs for the coming week. We'll talk soon.